Hey everyone, and welcome to Chef AJ Live. I'm your host, Chef AJ, and this is where I introduce you to amazing people like you who are doing great things in the world that I think you should know about. My guest today is Dietitian Deepa Deshmukh, who can teach you how to ditch the diets. And today she's going to reveal secrets to losing weight even when you're on vacation. Please welcome her back to the show. Well, this is a great topic because we're approaching summer. More people are going to be traveling. People want to maintain their weight or maybe even want to lose weight. But boy, vacations, cruises, those can be the kiss of death for people.
Absolutely, Chef AJ. I mean, when we get on with health transformation for health, people tend to focus on, oh my God, how am I going to take the vacation? Sometimes they feel that the joy has been sucked out of them, and they keep focusing on what they are missing. And my goal is to through this presentation not only share the secrets to losing weight while vacationing, but also importance of knowing your why and how to find joy in life, which is obviously is very important as we all cruise on this journey. So this episode is going to be a little bit of learn and fun kind of presentation because of the topic of vacationing and learning here. So I'm going to quickly share my story and my why as to how did I get here. So I arrived in the US in 1993. Uh, I was newly married. I had an arranged marriage, so I didn't know my husband really well. We had met, and within a month we got married. And because he was a student, I was not allowed to work, and on my visa, so I started volunteering. And because I had to learn language and really wanted to understand the culture. And then eventually I ended up going to school, started working. And in last 30 years now or so, I have been really worked on finding my why as to the importance of finding why is so important. And along this journey, the personal and professional journey, I have realized that my why really lies with the helping transform lives or helping people via nutrition education, community work, the community gardens, and other initiatives that I'm involved in, spending time with my family and friends. And really, my why is also my hobbies, traveling and cooking. So that's a bit of a background story about me and why this topic of traveling and vacationing, because that's my why I want to be, or rather that's one of my why. So let's quickly learn about the finding your why and the benefits of finding your why. The why gives us the purpose. The purpose helps us to move forward in life, sometime 1 minute at a time, day by day, hour by hour. This is a very uh, universal phenomenon, that people who have a purpose, people who have goals, uh, are the ones, they have more fulfilling lives, because we want to wake up and look forward to something. And for some people it is waking up and just starting their day by reading the book. It can be little bit of gardening. There's a Japanese lady that I had met long time ago, and she said just waking up and going out of her house and just bringing in couple of flowers and put them in the flower pot was something that every day she looked forward to, rather. So the why doesn't have to be anything elaborate, but every day all of us must uh, have something to look forward to. So finding your why is a very dynamic process. Why is the purpose, which is your ultimate goal and ultimate outcome, and how you get to that is a process. So and what it results in is something that is more tangible. So the first thing, if you are in search of why, or you are working on finding your why, is to understand what your ultimate outcome or ultimate goal is. um, and then understand the process. Take specific actions, enroll in a program. If you are into trying, if your why is to get healthy and learn different recipes and stuff like that, then who is better than Chef AJ and her new books and all the support that she gives. So whatever you need to convert that why into reality is what you need to focus on. And but many times what happens is, or what I see with my patients is, they come in and say, oh, I want to lower my A1C, or I want to lose weight. Well, that is a good why, but that is not the real why there. So I dig deep and I ask them, no, add some juicy details to it. What do you want to do when your blood sugars are low and you have energy to do? What do you want to do when you lose your weight? And then they really start imagining, they really, the real stuff starts to come out. Oh, I want to uh, uh, climb a Grand Canyon, or I want to go to Vatican. I want to go and see Taj Mahal. I want to go go on an African safari. I want to play with my grandkids. I want to be just able to sit on the porch without worrying about my back pain. So the juicy details are extremely important um, when you are working on your why. But then a lot of people get hit with these barriers to finding why. And usually the barriers are themselves, friends, family, work, and sometimes unrealistic expectations that, hey, I want to do so, I want to run a marathon and want to lose 50 pounds in 3 months, and the first 20 pounds need to come in the first month. So focusing on those numbers and holding that wheel very tightly is what I call the unrealistic expectations. But here are some examples of what I call as, oh, I want to change, but barriers to why. So a lot of people say, okay, I want to be healthy, but food sounds strange. I want to change, but won't it be a long process? And these days, those of us who are saying, oh, I want to be healthy, but the concept of eating what, potato, rice, broccoli sounds strange. Well, I tell them that the chemo and GLP is not coming in chocolate or raspberry flavor either. Okay, so pick pick what flavor you want. I would rather go with potato with salt, pepper, salsa on top, or the GLP shot which makes me nauseous. So you figure out what is the mean, what is real strange here. Won't it, oh, so many time, oh, I want to change, but won't it be a long process? Well, no, I mean, the process of recovering from any chronic illness is not shorter either. Nobody has a heart attack and recovers from the angioplasty, I mean the open heart bypass surgery in 2 days. It takes weeks and months of rehab. So long process, you choose your process. We have ability to choose which road we want to take. Another barrier to finding why is, oh, I want to be healthy, but I have too many social events. Well, we can't control the social events, but what you can control is what you have in the house. And again, I don't have to tell you guys, but like Chef AJ, Dr. Lyle, everybody says here, is environment, environment, environment. Let's focus on doing things that we think we can control and work on. So don't wait for the world to change for you. Start changing yourself with what you have. um, Another why that people get stuck into is, oh, I want to be healthy, but I have to think about my family won't go for this. Well, be a leader. Family may or may not follow. Again, don't try to change something, don't try to control something we don't have control upon. Sometime I follow, at least when I started doing this, I was like, don't ask, don't tell policy. I didn't tell anyone. that there won't be any oil in the cooking. I just started cooking, and if somebody said, oh, this the it has less salt or it has less oil, I put the bottle of the oil there and said, okay, go ahead, pour your oil on your own food, or add more salt if you want. So so simple strategies like that, and not buying the non-compliant food for others also helps you kind of move on in your process. The reason why I'm focusing on being healthy and finding your why is they are interconnected, because we need to have core physical and mental health to do things in life. That's the ultimate truth here. So therefore, what you do, what you eat, how you breathe, everything is going to feed into your passion, into your goal, so on and so forth. Again, cooking is hard, I want to change, cooking is hard, we are on budget. Again, these are barriers to finding your why. So if I just sit here complaining, and my why is to travel and see the world, well, it's not happening, because I may end up with body pain, who knows, sickness. So if I don't take care of myself, how am I going to travel, right? So that is why the health, the relationship between staying healthy, being healthy, thinking healthy is very, very important. A lot of people say, oh, I want to change, but we are on a budget, and healthy food is very expensive. I always tell people, well, sickness is costly too. It's not cheap. It costs you money, it costs you quality of life, it costs you energy, it costs you relationships, it can cost you your life. You could be dead. Now compare that to eating beans, lentils, potatoes, veggies. There is really no death by broccoli that I have heard of. So the cost is in the eyes of beholder here. Um, so tips to overcome why barriers: start with small actions, get support. There are army of us on this side who are here to help you. There are books. Even if you just keep watching Chef AJ show every single day for a few hours, I think the health and life of a person should improve. So you have her, you have me, and many other healthcare professionals, doctors, etc., to help you out. um, Finding joy and pride, reminding yourself why are you doing it. When you are focused on the pleasure, the joy, the happiness that you are going to get by doing this is going to be much more motivating than just focusing on, I am eating whole food, plant based, and all my joy in my life is being sucked. It doesn't have to be that way. So, finding joy in why, that's what I decided to do. I have been working for a long time now, and I finally decided I'm going to start traveling. And I wanted to see different countries, because traveling is very instinctive to me. I grew up in a family. My dad used to get transferred every couple of years, so I just like to change places and go and visit and all that. And I feel that traveling provides me an opportunity to learn, educate myself about other cultures, makes me humble. I love history and traditions. It reminds me of how history has shaped us where we are. And uh, some and many times I feel grateful, because when you are traveling, you see things that you otherwise don't see. You see the disparities even more, you see the lack of resources and how resourceful people are, and that makes you even more agile to live through life. So the as far as the history part is concerned, I really enjoy and appreciate the everything that has happened, the sacrifices that were made by so many people, and that you see by visiting these different monuments and places. You get to see art. You get to see good music and paintings and so much, and all those things bring so much joy. So that's how My joy, my why is my traveling, and I find joy in that. Pack and go. Today, I'm going to take you quickly through Lisbon, Paris, Bermuda Islands, Rome, Florence, and Munich. And the focus is going to be on finding right kind of foods while you are traveling, and some tips. So there are pre-travel preparations. You first want to select the country, choose off season, late fall, winter, early spring. And if you're going to Europe, then Rick Steve is a journalist, is a travel journalist. You want to pack, you want to get his book, start reading it ahead of time, and he will have phenomenal guided tours for you. Book straight flights when possible. Now, booking Airbnb has been extremely beneficial for us, but few things to remember, especially when you are traveling in Europe, that the Airbnb are much smaller, small size. That's the first thing that hits you, and there are a lot of uphill locations. Many times they don't have elevators to go up and down. So small spaces, check for microwave elevators, washing machines. Most of them have dryers, but they are very small dryers and washing machines, and the dryers don't dry the clothes as dry as what we are used to here. Um, uh, find an Airbnb close to the grocery store, which is also called as Mercado, or city center, subway, train station for easy transportation. And one more thing I have noticed is that you can ask your Airbnb person for a domestic help if you want to do some meal prep, grocery shopping, etc. So these pre-travel preparations are very important. Mm, Now, as far as your physical health is concerned, before you plan your travel, or once you plan your travel, make sure you work on stretching and you work on strength training a bit. You get into the habit of walking. Make sure your shoes are suitable for cobblestone or tile based roads or walkways, and comfortable clothes, and travel light. Don't carry too much stuff with you, but one roll on backup water bottle, umbrella, shopping bag. And I'll tell you why you need shopping bag. And as far as food, just get some unsweetened prunes, because that will keep your digestive track on track. And also remember, bathrooms in Europe are very small. Sometimes they don't have paper towels, and they may not be wheelchair accessible. There are no Many times there are no elevators, and lines can be very long. So once you are kind of prepared for it, it doesn't come to you as a shock. Now, the most important thing about taking a vacation and losing weight, not only while on vacation, but making sure that after you come back, you are not completely off. Or so the strategies to avoid relapse is to plan, because a lot of people go on vacation. They try to be mindful, even though the vacation should not be eat and cheat opportunity, or rather cheat and eat opportunity. It should just be a part of who you are, and the emphasis should be on seeing things and enjoying, versus, oh, I'm going to just go there and eat whatever. That's not the point of just taking vacations. But many people have a relapse after they come back from a vacation or a holidays, because if they have not watched what they are doing, and after you come back, you are jet lagged and tired, and you have to go back to work and family and routine, and it can be very overwhelming. So 3 to 4 days before you leave, cook and freeze soups, curries, sauces, gravies, stock up on frozen veggies, make the green smoothie and put it in the freezer, so that as soon as you come back, you have food to go back to. You don't have to worry about grocery shopping for a couple days. You don't have to worry about cooking something for 2 3 days. You will have all this stuff ready. The day of the travel, make sure you pack some sweet potatoes, rice based bowl to take it to the airport. And I'm talking about traveling from US to outside, so carry your food, so you're not relying on the airport food or the airline food. Um, and upon arrival to the other country, you will have access to the smoothies, fresh bread, soups, etc. And I'm going to show you all that. So first we are going to go to the Lisbon, Portugal here. Now, before I go, I usually try to read quickly about what that country grows and what kind of foods they have available. So in Portugal, they grow a lot of barley and wheat and corn, rice, potatoes, grapes. So I knew that they will have some good food. Lot of almost all the countries, guys, have beans and lentils and different kind of grains and cereals, all that stuff. So traveling should not be that painful. Lisbon is a beautiful place. As you can see, the roads are have these special small tiny tiles, and there are a lot of uphill walking you have to do. Actually, it is very interesting to see how older people continue to walk with their dogs or their umbrellas or their grocery bags on these roads, and they are in pretty good shape in terms of their core and their posture. So prepared to walk. Anytime I land and go to my Airbnb, I first make sure that I go to the local mercado, or it's like a convenience store. These mercados are like these little markets, because that's where you are going to find um, plant-based milk. I have never ever had any issue finding soy milk, oat milk in during my journey specifically to Europe. So you can buy some basic fruits. If you want to buy, they don't have ready-made salads, but mainly fruits and some vegetables and some plant-based milk to get started. Now, Portugal was an interesting place. They have this vegan carrot or squash and potato soup, which is so soothing and without any cream or any dairy product. The vegan soups are by default a first choice. Everywhere there was vegan soup that was made with some sort of a root, and vegan coffee, tea is easily available. They don't charge you extra. And I have also noticed that most places require you or recommend you to sit down and have your coffee. They do not use that much disposable cups and straws and things like that. There was a local place next to my Airbnb which would serve these beautiful green smoothies every single day. And these smoothies are not like milkshakey high sugar smoothies. They put real greens and whichever fruit you want you to add, and and then they don't if you want to skip fruit, they can do that too. So extremely nice people, very flexible. And the vegan word is just vegan, plant based is just part of that culture. The adoption of that philosophy is very high, and therefore it was very easy for me to find plant based clean vegan food while I was visiting different places. Now, on the screen here, you will see those black eyed peas, delicious black eyed peas in this small little cafe on the mountain somewhere, where you can't even nobody would even think of finding beans. Forget about black eyed peas. It was such a pleasant surprise. And they serve you with this really fresh, hearty, whole grain, and I mean whole grain bread, which is heavy, which is brown in color, and has very nice texture and flavor. So in order to find right foods when you are traveling, you have to be curious. Okay, you have to do a little bit of digging. Not that they are hard to find, these places are everywhere. So searching it, and as you are walking, if you see a small little cafe, go in and see what they have, because you will find such beautiful dishes easily offered. And they are reasonably priced. The soup that I just showed you was just $1, and it comes with whole grain bread. I mean, life can't get better than that, if I if I'm going outside and if somebody feeds me that kind of soup, um, it would be perfect. So they also, I also noticed that food is served very mindfully. It's prepared mindfully. Asian restaurants are everywhere. This is just an interesting looking menu. It was in a passport style, and they served coconut water in that with some edible flowers. My goodness, I cannot tell you how popular dumplings are, and these people take their time in making dumplings. Okay, it takes nowhere the food is rushed. It takes at least 25 to 30 minutes to get your food. Uh, in this particular restaurant, I think it was Vietnamese probably, with some dumplings, obviously curry, and the rice was served in a very traditional little basket here, so on and so forth. Um, okay, so you're walking every day, and you want to eat a small snack. Always look for what locals are eating. There are nut stands along the way. Uh, the green thing that you're seeing on the screen, these are peels of the green oranges. And On the left hand side here, you have you can have gosh, chestnuts. The roasted chestnut stands are everywhere, and it was so handy. You just go there for a couple for $1 or so. You get 7 to 8 chestnuts. Now chestnuts are carbohydrates, no fat, no salt, delicious. That kept me going for another 3 to 4 hours. Now another phenomenal thing that I came across along the roadside, and guys, this is not somewhere hidden and I had to look for it very hard. They have made eating healthy very accessible. So at this particular stand, this guy had like hundreds of pineapples piled next to him. He took one ripe pineapple, he cored it all. Coconut milk was the only milk he had. Default, he said he doesn't even carry regular milk. So he made like a pina colada type of drink with a dash of water, dash of coconut milk, and he put that entire pineapple in it, and my drink was ready. And then once the drink is ready, he gives you a steel spoon that you can scoop the inside of pineapple, and if you want to eat it, and then he immediately put the pineapple shell into a composting bin. So they use very minimum uh, disposable and waste, and obviously the straws are of paper. Another this, oh my God, I went to this town called Abydos, and it is a beautiful town. And again, it's up on top of another mountain, very interesting touristy place. And there they had made this tofu based loaf with balsamic glazed, along with some homemade kombucha. I mean, I would have never thought of finding something in such a remote place. But again, a little bit of looking, searching, and just being curious and walking into different cafes and seeing what everybody offers. And when you ask them to make it with less oil, they make it with less oil. Of course, making it with less salt is difficult. Now, on my way back to US, at the airport, I was able to find some greens and rice, which is again phenomenal here. Uh, I, so we just have to be uh, observant and see what choices are available. Then next trip to Paris. Gosh, the Paris has the most beautiful cafes, and so you want to take time and enjoy and relax and not get rushed. That's the whole point of traveling and really enjoying and finding that joy, because you want to come back refreshed. So again, in Paris, lot of walking. So walking is very important. This was another interesting meal I got to eat, and I fell in love with buckwheat again. I used to use a lot of buckwheat, then I forgot about it, and then I went and they served this buckwheat pancake uh, or wrap with tons of vegetables inside and salad. And this was on their brunch menu. The population is very ethnically diverse, and all the authentic cuisines have merged, and they make these phenomenal things. On the right hand side, it was a bit of an indulgence, but like a caramel custard made with coconut milk. Uh, so that was interesting. But the most flavorful meal in France, one of the flavorful meals was this buckwheat pancake, which was stuffed with tons of vegetables. Now, as far as the imitation meat is concerned, I did not see Beyond Burger or type of products at all. On the left hand side, you will see this egg sandwich, but that egg is made out of mushroom puree. Because little bit of language barrier, she couldn't tell me uh, the exact process, but they were making it in house. And she was saying that they puree the mushrooms and then they put it in the mold, and I'm not sure if they bake it or what do they do. But that was my kind of egg sandwich with mushrooms, with mushroom which looks like an egg, and avocado toast, and so on and so forth. On the right hand side, Turkish restaurant was able to make me a very delicious stew with cauliflower and carrots and lots of root vegetables with rice and hot sauce. Now, like I was saying, the bathrooms are small and they are pay and use. Lines are long, no elevators. I just took this picture of this. They are called water closets. The bathrooms are called as water closets. So, in this, there are so many beautiful historic sites and beautiful cafes, and then there was Starbucks. And I don't know why somebody would go to Starbucks while you are surrounded by these beautiful other cafes. But then, what I liked about this particular Starbucks was the door for their water closet. So I just decided to take a picture. That was the only thing worth admiring for them. And another interesting thing that was hitting me was smoking. Smoking is allowed everywhere. They do smoke quite a bit. So if you are not used to smoke or have trouble, then make sure that you are kind of walking away from where most people are smoking. Okay, now coming back from the airport again, I was shocked. I was able to find this beautiful lentil salad with grilled onions and cashew cheese and small piece of bread and water, and this whole thing was $8. That was the most mind-boggling thing for me. And but there it was. So I really thoroughly enjoyed. Okay, after the next destination, Italy, Rome. I went to again very beautiful place, lots and lots of walking, and just like everywhere else, as soon as I go, I land somewhere, I visit the local markets. That's where you want to go. So in this particular case, look at all the tomatoes, all the vegetables, everything. And I packed lot of not so many vegetables, but lot of fruits with me to have it in my Airbnb. uh, and if I see some unique vegetables, I would bring them and try them. So this is very important. The local markets are open every single day. They have limited hours, but this kind of bounty is available to everybody pretty much every day in these countries. And then you will see variety of interesting things, like these were sun-dried tomatoes, and the fruit was so fresh. As you can see, the pomegranates still have their green stem attached to it. I mean, they really focus on fresh produce. The local grocery, the 7-Eleven type of store had all those plantains and malanga roots and so on and so forth, because lot of immigrant population lives in these cities. So a lot of ethnic, authentic ethnic fruits and vegetables you will see. Moving on, who says plant-based you can't get your protein while you are traveling? Well, I got to eat a lot of chickpea-based soups with freshly made pasta, some bread. Gluten-free is also quite easily available. And then there was one place they had this special navy bean, white kidney bean type of uh, bean dish, which was phenomenal. Now, I made an interesting observation while I was walking there on the sidewalk. There was a musician, and look what he's eating. He's eating onions and tomatoes and cucumbers, a couple slices of bread, and water. Okay, and he was able to carry his instrument on his own on a very uphill road. In Italy, they serve you a lot of greens on the side, like chicory greens, along with the pasta and different kind of salad, so on and so forth. Again, in the market, you get freshly made juices. I'm drinking the relatively low calorie pomegranate juice. Again, they don't add any sugar or anything. It's freshly made. More pasta. Okay, this is another interesting one. So we went to see Vatican, and it was 7 o'clock in the morning. The tour ended around 8:30, 9 o'clock, and the breakfast was included. But what they served had all the meat. So I just said to them, "Oh, I can't eat it. I mean, do you have anything vegan?" And she immediately went inside and got me some grilled peppers and eggplants and zucchini, cauliflower and broccoli, along with some bread. And she said, "If you need more, please ask." So it was extremely important. I mean, it was extremely easy to find plant-based food. Okay, switching the gear here, went to Bermuda in December. Beautiful place, very easy to get to. Beaches were empty because it was December, but the weather was very nice. I had an Airbnb. Now it's a tropical country, so while you are walking on the street, you see different kind of exotic fruits and other plants to enjoy. Now this is a very interesting experience I had. So just out of curiosity, I always go and visit local grocery stores, convenience stores, just to see what's happening in the food world. Now, this is a convenience store, no different than our gas station. But look what they do. They have tons of poke bowls, quite a bit of vegan choices. And if you tell them, they will make it oil free, whatever you want with the ingredients they have. This particular gentleman there was so gracious, and he even wiped um, the skillet, the flat top for me, and made this beautiful bowl. uh, they had green smoothies, and I had it with lot of spinach and some avocado. They made the poke bowl without the dressing, so on and so forth. Now we went to another restaurant, and the chef there was from the same town that my friend is from. So what he did, he made us he I, we ordered the pasta from the menu, but as I was talking to him, he said, "Oh my goodness, we just made a very traditional potato dish today, and what you see in this little bowl is a special potato curry that he had made for him and his staff, and that he shared with me." And this is exactly what I like about traveling. You connect with people, you make connections, uh, and it just brings more joy. Another delicious meal of all the veggies in a very flavorful curry sauce. Just just a perfect meal with some rice. Fast forward, going to Munich, Germany, very recently. Again, beautiful place. And at the airport, what do I see? A fresh fruit and veggie smoothie store. And this particular smoothie had carrots and celery, apple. I think that's it. And maybe a little bit of pineapple. and they make it fresh, not very expensive, $3 4. That's it. And then on my way back, I was able to find this chickpea based sandwich. So I have that here. Again, as soon as I got off from the plane, went to Airbnb, got ready, looked for a local square market here. Okay, look at this beautiful stand of vegetables. I could not move from this stand. The fruits, the vegetables were so fresh. It's unbelievable. I now feel that I need to make another trip so that I can cook with all these vegetables and just sit there and just enjoy them and just keep walking. I mean, the freshness of vegetables, you can feel it. And the reason is they don't, they don't uh, have large processing. What, how can I say? Like these people, what I have noticed is they rely on something eating fresh and flavorful. And I think that prevents them from eating as much processed food. Now, all these countries that we just saw, they all are meat eating countries. And you see tons and tons of meat as well that is being consumed. Um, but regardless, their obesity rate is less. Now, that doesn't mean that it's not going up, it is going up, but slowly. But I feel that along with that, they probably eat tons of natural plant-based products, and in general the oil, salt and sugar consumption was very low. Or you can feel it in the food. It's not greasy, it's not oily. Again, so many fruits and veggies. This was a particular vegetable stand. Now, as I was talking to somebody there, uh, so healthy choices made easy is what what this person said to me. For example, you are in this market, you have access to these fresh fruits and vegetables. So I bought some grapes, and I'm a big fan of grapes with seeds, because remember the seeds of the grapes has all the nutrients. But they have a fountain, a water fountain there, where you can wash your produce or your grapes and you can eat them. You don't even have to wait to go home and wash it. So I bought some grapes. Obviously I'm washing them and decided to eat it. So these are the kind of things we need in our communities, in our society, where we can see all these fresh fruits and vegetables, if not all the time, sometimes. And there was no artificial food uh, uh, included in these stands. These were purely fresh fruits, vegetables, spices stands. For example, here, this entire stall had amazing exotic spices from India, Sri Lanka, Africa, Italy, France. I mean, this place was just the aroma in the air was something. I had never experienced something like that. And then they have fresh garlic and fresh ginger, of course, all different kinds of scallions and olives. And they did have some olive in water and some olives in oil. But there was a choice if somebody wanted to eat some olives. uh, I saw at least 3 to 4 different kind of shallot varieties, which I thought was interesting. Mm, Again, white asparagus was in season, and I had never seen so much white asparagus, but it was there. And people are nice. They help you select the vegetables. They talk about food. They take time even in selling you these fruits and vegetables. The person will go into the history of where they how their grandmother has been growing the farm, or they will teach you something about the type of fruit or vegetable you are seeing. So they do take a lot of interest in talking about food and preparing and also sharing. On the right hand side, these were all different kind of peppers hanging. Okay, I had another very interesting. authentic Japanese meal. Of course, they made really nice dumplings, and as I said, these dumplings were handmade. You could just feel it. Again, no oil, just steamed. But on the right hand side, and Dr. McDougall will be very happy, and so will Chef AJ. These are potato noodles, and these were fine potato noodles which were just steamed with a little bit of soy sauce and bunch of vegetables, and they serve it with some rice. Extremely flavorful, very simple meal, but very fulfilling. Again, here is a latte with probably oat or soy milk. But on the right hand side, you see this bread. As you can see, this wheat bread is made with iron corn type of wheat, which is low in gluten, and their wheat bread is always mixed with rye, and they put anise seeds on top. So it looks better, it feels better, it smells better, it tastes better, and and when you eat food with little bit of even herbs and spices every single day in small quantity, the cumulative effect, the health effect of the food is going to be tremendous on your body. There won't be any need to take any seed supplements or turmeric supplements and so on and so forth, because every food, every meal, every bite you're taking of good food is going to give you the health benefits. Again, all the breads are freshly made, and their traditional bread here, like a rye bread, is thick, heavy like brick. But when you toast it a little bit, it just has amazing flavor to it. And like I said, it's freshly available and ready to enjoy. This was another fruit and smoothie stall. So you don't have to. I mean, I didn't eat large meals because I wanted to enjoy small little things throughout the day. And this was another smoothie store. They make they literally make it in front of you with nothing but fresh fruit. There's absolutely nothing. They just take whatever combination you want. They take it, they dump it in the blender. They don't add any yogurt. There is no milk. There is no dairy. It's all all natural, ready to go. In normal circumstances, I don't drink juices or that many smoothies either. But again, this was like a treat. I had walked for God knows how many miles, and this was a very refreshing drink. Potatoes. How can I leave Munich without talking about potatoes? uh, in this particular farmers market, there was these few stands which sold different kind of potatoes, and this potato grower was serious about what he was growing. Due to the language barrier, even though they all understand English, there is not a major problem, but if you want to do a conversation, then it can be a little tricky. But he told me where the potatoes come from. He was able to tell me that the different sizes and what they use potatoes for, and every day he sells pounds and pounds of potatoes. And he and people who are buying are also very serious about their potatoes. They just don't go and pick up a bag and just come home. they they spend this particular guy was asking him a lot of questions about, oh, what happened to that variety, and the flavor of this and that. And the farmer told me, according to the season, the how the sweetness of the potato changes, so on and so forth. No matter, I mean, I have been to now all these countries, pretty much every restaurant has vegan options. Or I shouldn't say every restaurant, but there are enough places which offer vegan food predominantly. And I'm not just talking about processed vegan food, I'm talking about food. It's a very good happy median between whole food plant based and processed vegan. It's very closer to whole food plant based, and if you tell them to make it without oil and added sugar, they can easily do that. And that's what this sandwich is all about. They made like a lentil pate, inside, and with some roasted peppers and stuff. Again, some food. Okay, lots of soups, poke bowls contain kidney beans, and this was lentil soup, which was amazing. I was so pleasantly surprised to see the use of brown rice, beans, and lentils as a standard offering at different places. Asian restaurants are always come through when it comes to eating steamed food. This was another place, and they had this spinach veggie dumplings. Now, minimizing food waste. One more thing I observed was there was one cafe we went to. It was 7 o'clock, and the cafe was closing. So we had ordered some, as you can see, the brown rice quinoa pilaf with, and again just steamed brown rice quinoa with this mango coconut curry, and then he gave us these two uh, desserts for free. And I said, what's going on? And he said, well, tomorrow these things expire, and we don't like to throw food away, so they just give it out. And that's what it was. So here if we could adopt the same strategy, because at 12 o'clock, if expiry date is 17th, and even if the food is not expired, we just throw it away. So we have to work on minimizing the food waste, and one way they do it is this way. Some of my indulgences, there was vegan beer in Munich, which I tried. It was like kombucha. I didn't drink the whole thing. I shared it with someone. Um, there was this sorbet, pure fruit sorbet with mandarin oranges, and there was this Japanese cold coffee that was interesting. This is another very interesting place I visited when it comes to food. There was a ramen bar, and you will not believe, every green vegetable that I could think of, and different kinds of mushrooms, and all types of different vegetables, and kind of tofu, and homemade noodles, etc. were there, and you just fill this gigantic bowl with anything that you want. And if you tell them that you don't want them, you just want it steamed, you don't want them to use any oil, that's exactly what they do. And that's exactly what they had done here, and then I had all this steam with little bit of sauce on the side. Okay, in Munich, I went to see this Dachau. That it's a reminder of painful history, really. The first concentration camp, and it was a painful experience, mind-numbing experience. So hard to imagine that such cruelty has happened, and just it was a sad day, but it made me realize the sacrifices that are done. Again, appreciated the history, and really, as I was reflecting back, I said, we have made so much progress in terms of technology, but when it comes to but we have made very little progress when it comes to being good human beings. I mean, some as wars and conflicts related to race and color, and all these things are happening as we speak. So, but visiting this concentration first concentration camp Dachau was very important to us, and I'm glad I got to see it. It was a very solemn place. Even there, they had this vegan snack of plain rice pudding, no sugar added, with sweetened mango puree on top. Last but not least, I went to see a pharmacy because I just wanted to see, because I didn't see any huge hospitals or too many doctors' offices, etc. So I went inside the pharmacy to see what they have, and their pharmacies are very clean, very calming. There were no Cheetos and cigarettes and alcohol, and bars and cookies and candies being sold. They had very minimal over the counter medication, some makeup stuff, and that's it. It was small, it was simple, it was not like a mini grocery store. So that probably reflects the health of the nation. What we see around us is basically our society is a reflection of who we are. So if you're seeing a lot of cancer centers and hospitals and pharmacies every square, every corner, we need to take a step back and see what is going on here. How come we are not seeing those farmers market that I just showed you? um, okay, so basically, the food in Europe is much cleaner because they have banned and or restricted the use of several hundred food additives and chemicals in food production compared to the United States. Of course, the GMO is banned. So something for us to learn. Strategies to lose weight on vacation: finding a joy mindset versus cheat and eat when you are on vacation. When you go there, visit the local farms, stock up on fruits, veggies, water, ask the host for a domestic help to do the meal prep if needed, drink plenty of water, search for plant-based restaurants, ethnic foods, be adventurous, try it, ask for no oil, gluten-free, etc. Eat small meals, enjoy different things throughout the day, walk, walk, walk. That's how you're going to uh, stay strong, and you will get to enjoy more things. Relax and enjoy your surroundings, because when you are in a historic place, you want to absorb that history. And most importantly, get back on the wagon upon return. So having those frozen meals are going to come in extremely handy. If somebody wants to get hold of me, want to reach out to me, just text us at 630-686-7300, or send me an email at deepa@nutritionistdeepa.com. We have back to health program. If we have a monthly support group that everybody is invited to join. And if you're a healthcare provider, I have a software solution to deliver lifestyle medicine modules. So that's all I have for today, Chef AJ.
Wow, that was so much fun. I learned so much. It was just fun watching all the places you've been and all the food. It looked delicious. You should write a book about this, how to travel and stay vegan and healthy.
Really, I mean, the last trip I just didn't want to come home because of the access to healthy food. Really, you know,
It
uh,
wasn't just healthy. I mean, it looked absolutely delicious. I mean, especially that rice pudding. But those potato noodles, were they made out of like russet potatoes?
no, it's there. There were so many potatoes out there. They are these long potatoes. They are this big, and Japanese people know how to chop their vegetables. I don't know how they do it, but I went to another restaurant where they have made thin noodles out of daikon, you
Yes,
know.
yes. Here we have a chef that does it out of king oyster mushrooms, and it's just like having wheat noodles in your pho.
Correct.
It's
It's
amazing.
it's
I-
just amazing.
That dress you had at the beginning, that was stunning.
Oh, thank you.
Was that like taken at your wedding or something? That was just a beautiful gown with a shawl and
Yeah, it was an Indian wedding. Uh, and I was just talking to somebody, and somebody took my picture, and I was like, what is going on? And then I thought it was appropriate as to what is my why, you know, for that pose. So I just decided
yeah,
to put
no,
it
that
there.
and I love that whole talking about finding the why because that's so important if people are going to stick to a healthy eating plan. So you have to pay for bathrooms when you travel?
Yes, there is either there are some places where you have to pay, or if you go in the cafe, then you have to buy something from the cafe.
Yeah, I guess that's
Yeah.
maybe the case here too. Well, I mean, I don't know if you have to pay, but they say bathroom is for customers only. So I guess anyone.
Correct. But
Yeah, yeah.
here, nobody will stop us. There, they will stop you.
That is so
Yeah,
interesting. Why do
that's
you
right.
think, you mentioned smoking. I guess one of the things that living, especially in California, I rarely ever
I
encounter
know.
people smoking. And I remember when I used to go on the holistic holiday at sea cruise, the vegan part was just a small part of the ship. There were people
Yeah,
from all over the world, and you would just
yeah.
walk through these like rooms and pillows of smoke.
No,
What countries are you finding more people smoking in?
all of them. France, even Germany, uh, uh, Portugal, everywhere people were smoking. And what really puzzles me is they are eating meat, they are smoking, they eat very late. I mean, in France, the restaurants opened at 7 o'clock in the evening
Oh my.
and they eat late in the evening. So what is it the community vibe that they have? Is it uh, the fruits and vegetables that they eat during the day? Because another thing that I observe is at the airport or in the store or just in general, people carry their own meals. Okay, I have even seen police officer eating a salad, or at the airport. No, where were we? Some museum, and those museum people who were guarding the few things, they took a break, and I quickly asked him, what do they eat? And he said they bring food from home. So I don't know if there is more homemade food that they also consume, because I didn't see too many fast food places. I mean, occasionally there would be one McDonald or something, um, but not like not rushed like here.
Why do you, what was the obesity rate like in some of these other countries? The same as the United States, better?
No, much less. It's like 17%.
Maybe it's because they're all smoking. No, I'm just kidding. Oh,
something there's something, I don't know, I'm trying to figure it out, but again, I don't know how, if it's going to go, if it's going down. It's definitely not going down. uh, it's increasing because of the maybe obviously excess food and all that. uh, there's one picture that I didn't have chance to add it to, because I have so many pictures to add and didn't want to go over my time limit here. um, but there was a school picnic, okay, and bunch of kids and teachers, and all of them had bought food from home. And it was so cute for these kids to see that somebody sharing their rice with someone, and the sandwich. And I didn't see any packaged juice boxes and chips packs and things like that. It was just a very interesting thing to see.
were there some countries that seem to be more vegan friendly than others? And which ones are maybe the most, and which did you maybe have a little bit more difficulty finding the kind of food you need?
I'm sorry to say, but India, eating out in India was very difficult. Eating at home in India is no problem, but oil and excessive salt and the dairy free options, even dairy free milk just doesn't exist.
It's so
you know
interesting. Yeah.
so I'm very chai less in India
Yeah.
because I enjoy my chai and there is no soy milk or almond milk.
But it's like anything else, if you're prepared and I think this presentation could inspire a lot of people that it's not as difficult as they might think, but it does require, like you say, knowing your why, but also some preparation. You can't just show up in India and then say, feed me, you have to bring certain foods to the airports. And
Correct.
it's amazing, as long as it's not liquidy type foods, like sometimes hummus doesn't get let in, you could bring a lot of food on.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it just makes the whole journey so interesting. And one thing is, as soon as you land, going to those vegetable market is the first thing everybody should do, because that just gives you immediate head start with different kinds of fruits and vegetables and water and stuff.
Yeah. Well, this was really a lot of fun. So come back again with more pictures. It's
That's
like it was just fun. Like we almost got
right.
how often do you travel, and how many weeks at a time do you go to these interesting locations?
Uh, so we just started traveling after pandemic more intensely, and we don't go for too long because of the work schedules and everything. So at the most 5 days, 6 days, quick visits, because I want to go and do most places at least the first sweep, and then there will be a second sweep when when the time is right. But I just want to start.
You
I
should
just
have
want to start
adventure
a gym.
groups. You should take groups of people with you, and that would be
I
fun.
Yeah, somebody was asking me, but Chef AJ, just like you, so much to do, so little time. And
Absolutely. Like, so, I can imagine like not every country speaks the same language. So you have that, but how do you articulate, especially when it's a language you're not speaking, not just vegan, but like the no oil? Because like you're mentioning, you're never going to probably get no salt unless you're just eating a
okay.
smoothie. But how, it would be so cool if people could just learn to ask for what they want and actually,
Well, see, first thing is to find that they have something vegan.
right.
Okay. Then you go by layer. Then you see the intricacies of what you are doing. So once vegan is there, once I figured out that their vegan is not processed vegan, I took a sigh of relief, right? Then you just have to find the local word for no oil or less oil, and you just
Yeah.
have the Google do its job, and they are okay. And their food is not that oily. Even their regular food was not like super saturated. You could feel it.
Yeah. That's great. Well, this was so much fun. Thank you so much, Deepa.
No, thank you, Chef AJ, and bravo to your new book publishing, and lots of love and success with that.
You mean this book?
Yes, that's the book. You
Thank
know,
you. Thank you so much for mentioning it. And thanks all of you for watching another episode of Chef AJ Live. Please come back tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific time for plant-based cardiologist Dr. Columbus Batiste for an episode of Heart to Heart. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.